All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show. I'm your host, Murph, and we want to thank you all for joining us and hope you'll consider subscribing and liking our videos and all that good stuff and joining us on Spotify and all the other platforms available. So we appreciate it. And as always, I want to say hi to my gentleman host, my buddy, my pal. That would be Doc Vox. How you doing, Doc?
Doing quite well, Murph. Quite well. Ready to bring our little news nuggets of rock and roll that we accumulate throughout the week to our subscribers that we're so fortunate to have.
Here,
So
here.
yeah, ready to rock
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
man.
Well, starting right out of the gate, there it is, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
They had their induction ceremony this weekend, and although it wasn't televised, it will be on HBO, I believe, November 19th. I think they're going to show it on.
yeah. They
So,
always take a couple weeks to put those things together and
still,
air
that's a
them. So
rip. They can do the other ones live. That's sort of a rip. It's sort of a rip that you have to have HBO to watch it too, but nonetheless, it is what it is.
yeah, I haven't really watched it since it's been on HBO. I don't have that service. It used to be on VH1. I think it was on
Mm,
other channels as well, but
man.
yeah,
You have to pay for everything these days. Everything's
got that right.
streaming, it's ridiculous. But on top of that list, which was a very cool matchup, there they are right there. There's Dolly and there's Rob. Dolly Parton
Yeah,
and Rob Halford.
there's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, yeah, they had a whole bunch of singers on stage. I did see the performance. Had a whole bunch of singers on stage singing Jolene. And they each took their turns, and yeah, Rob got up close and personal. And Dolly's been saying how she wants to put out a rock album, and she's putting all sorts of feelers out there. Who knows? Would that be something to hook up with Judas Priest, for crying out loud?
Oh my God, yeah, she could find tons of people that would be willing
Oh,
to work with
and
her. So
everybody would, and everybody who's
yeah,
anybody. Yeah, yeah. If you know what's good for you, you'd say yes if she called you. That's
absolutely.
But yeah, that was really a very cool bunch of different singers. I didn't recognize many of them.
Then she had Pink was on
Yeah, oh
one
yeah, she had a funny
there,
suit on. Yeah, yeah.
and Brandy Carlisle, and I forget some of the other ones, but yeah, it looked like quite an event actually. Like I said, I always kind of enjoyed watching that when I could, and this one
Uh-huh.
seems to be particularly fun. So yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it. So yeah, just to refresh everybody, the inductees this year were Pat Benatar with her hubby Neil Giraldo,
Right.
and Duran, Eminem, Eurythmics, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, and Judas Priest under the musical excellence category. As
Yeah.
we've spoken on that a few times,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
much to my speculation, they pretty much nailed what songs they were going to do. They had the 8 minute and they did the medley. They did "You Got Another Thing Coming," "Breaking the Law," and "Living After Midnight." Pretty much just what I called. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool. Had pretty much oh gosh, they had tons of guys from past and present out there playing with them. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
It was
KK rejoined them. Yeah,
KK and Les Binks, who was my
yeah.
favorite drummer with them, quite honestly. Uh I saw the performance on YouTube, and yeah, they need to push their differences aside at this point. Get KK back in the band. Him and Richie Faulkner. Are you kidding me? That'd be unbelievable. That'd be an
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Glenn's pretty much I think out of the picture at this point.
Yeah, he
He
did
got
play.
from
He
what
was
from
there.
yeah he played. From what I understand, he got pretty emotional and kind
Oh
of a
yeah.
cool moment. So and I guess present drummer was Scott Travis
Mm-hmm.
brought up the late Dave Holland. He
Right.
was the drummer when pretty much when I was into him. So yeah, it sounded like it was kind of an emotional deal for Priest and Eminem got up there as well. Went on a kind of a lengthy, named off a lengthy list of rappers. Just kind of
Uh,
went on the whole thing and sparsely represented rap, I guess. But there's, how many rap acts are in there now? I don't know, off the top of my head. I would say 7, 8. I don't know. And how many metal acts are in there? Off the top of my head, I got 3. So
That ain't good. Yeah, what's up with that? Jeez.
but we'll just leave that there. Um, but yeah, Eminem kind of went on a really lengthy, just named off like every rapper he could ever think of. I think just had a list a mile long. But yeah, and then he played with he was joined by Steven Tyler and Ed Sheeran
Ah,
joined Eminem. So that
huh.
sounds intriguing. So that might be worth watching.
Well, we'll see what
Hopefully, some of
comes
this,
of it.
yeah. Hopefully, some of the stuff that gets televised will make its way onto YouTube.
Right,
I don't know
right.
the legalities of that, but hopefully, we'll be able to see some of that stuff.
That would be good. But yeah, I do want to see Dolly. I want to see Dolly get with some rockers, Really, what the heck? She's done everything else for crying out loud. My gosh. So very cool for them. Very cool. Here's a weird story. Now,
We're gonna finish up there. Just mention Duran Duran.
yeah.
Andy Taylor was
Oh
unable.
yeah.
Yeah, he was unable to make it. He's currently suffering stage 4 prostate cancer.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
That's
sounds
sad.
pretty
Yeah.
rough for him. But
We know what stage 4 means, so
yeah,
what a shame.
that's getting.
That yeah. Now that what a shame.
It was a
Well, mhm.
pretty fun event, and hopefully get to catch it.
Yeah, I
All
hear
right.
you. Next story though, very interesting, very weird. Carmen Appice, Carmen Appice, whatever.
Apathy, yeah.
Appice, yeah. Known for his work with Vanilla Fudge. You keep me hanging on. He was a drummer on that, and Cactus, of course, and Rod Stewart, and apparently he's been talking with Mick Mars. Are you kidding me? What's up with that?
Yeah, well, man, it sounds like he's really trying to find something to do. He's older. He's like 70. He's like 76 now. And I remember, oh gosh, it's been, I don't know, maybe a couple months back, we reported that Vanilla Fudge was doing a Zeppelin cover album
Right.
called Vanilla Zeppelin. When I thought, hey, come on, you got Lead Fudge right there, man. Take Lead Fudge. Um, but he was working on that project, and I guess Mick has stepped back from touring with the crew, and
Right.
as they say, he's still a member of the band. I can't imagine them putting out any new music, but I guess that's more for business purposes. But he stepped back from touring, but I guess he's had a solo album he's been working on for like 10 years.
That's what some
So
people have said. Yeah.
yeah, so
Now
I
we
guess
can
his
finish his
goal,
now we can finish
yeah,
his solo album. Yeah, right.
yeah, I think the goal is to finish that and to play that a little bit, and nothing extensive like the crew's doing, but maybe like one weekend a month they'll fly out to wherever they got to go and do a couple gigs, and then next month do it again, that kind of thing. But I guess that's what he was talking about with Carmen and or Carmine, I should say, and he says, well, look, if you need anybody to play drums,
Probably
so
one
he's
of
just
those
kind of
deals.
throwing it out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's exactly what he told him. Look,
Oh man.
verbatim is the quote. Look, if you need anybody to play drums, so who knows what we'll see? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. Seems like I don't know. That could work, I suppose, but
It's
yeah, it seems
weird.
like he's really trying to keep busy at
Hmm.
that ripe old age. I don't know. Maybe it's more a financial issue, but
Yeah. Well, it could be. A lot of these guys didn't get as lucky as others. Like our next subject, Sammy Hager, quite honestly, very well off. But man, this is really something. The talk, of course, oh, we got to get the Van Halen tribute going because of the fact that they did uh, uh Foo
Taylor
Fighters
Hawkins.
drummer Taylor Hawkins and all, and they all turned out great and whatnot. And it just doesn't seem like anybody has any interest. And an interesting point was they talked to Sammy about it, and wow, I guess him and Alex are still on the outs. What do you think?
Yeah, it's I think until something happens or it's definitely buried deep into the ground. That's issue's going to be brought up to anybody concerning the Van Halen camp until like I said, something happens. So yeah, I think he was on Eddie Trunk and he was talking about it again, and he said, look, everybody's kind of putting this on Dave, me and David Lee Roth, but he says Alex is kind of the one with the stick up his ass.
Yeah. He he hasn't answered any of Sammy's texts or messages or phone calls or anything. And recently, apparently, Michael, gosh, help me out here, Doc. Michael, the bass player. Thank you. Jeez, brain fart. Michael Anthony apparently had a tragedy in his family, something very sad happening, and Sammy went to get a hold of Alex to talk to him, let him know what's going on, and he never got back to him at all. So I mean, it must really. It seems like Alex is just I don't think he's played drums since, or I haven't heard squat from him doing anything, quite honestly.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. You think about that. He's very private. He hasn't played with anybody else. I mean, even Eddie did a couple, little offshoots here and there, even playing Beat It, Michael Jackson and stuff. He'd do stuff,
right.
Now and then. But Alex never played with anybody else. He never had anything else going on. But as Sammy put it, at this point, Wolfgang is Van Halen.
Yeah.
And I've seen interviews with Wolfie, and he's kind of said, well, Alex too. He's kind of the torchbearer too at this point. So it just sounds like there's just too many moving pieces that just can't line up, and I don't think they're ever going to do anything, which is unfortunate, for Eddie's memory. But
it's a shame because Wolfgang can handle the songs very well. Anybody who could do Hot for Teacher like that. I mean, he smoked through Hot for Teacher. So, I mean, he can obviously handle everything. And that would be the only way to do it, as far as I'm concerned, is to have him doing guitars, Michael Anthony on bass, Alex on drums, and
well, even before, right before he died, Eddie had a project that he wanted to do. He's going to call the Kitchen Sink Tour. And it was going to be everybody. It was going to be everybody that's ever played Van Halen. And
Gary Cherone,
all of them. Obviously, that didn't come to be, but
that would have been nice. That would have been good. We'll see what happens with that.
Bad they can't come together after his death. But
sounds like Alex is pretty much just giving it up. So what a shame. Well, when you play with your brother for decades and decades and decades, then he goes. I imagine it's rough as hell. So
having this kid
you bounce back
help,
at some point. Yeah. Jeez.
I think Wolfie really gained a lot of respect in the Taylor Hawkins tribute. I think a lot of people saw there and kind of had their eyes open to him a little bit, and he's the real deal, man. He can do it.
Real deal, and he's got a long career ahead of him. So good for him, man. Good, hang in there, Wolfie, and even if they don't do the tribute, that's fine, because he's putting out some pretty good music himself. So
he said before
and VH, so very.
He said before with the Vengeance, he doesn't want to follow in his dad's footsteps. He doesn't want to rehash any Van Halen stuff or anything. It's all
good for him. Yeah. Well, he doesn't need to. I'm sure he inherited the estate, so he's obviously well off, and I imagine the royalties are just fabulous from all that great music they put out. Jeez.
Right.
Speaking of great music, this is the Stones, of course, are putting out a new album, the Rolling Stones, featuring actually some tracks that were played by the late drummer Charlie Watts.
Before he left. So that's pretty incredible, man. The new music. They've done an album. Oh gosh, I don't know, a few years back. The blues cover album. Blue and Lonesome. It was really good, really super good. I really like that one.
Cool.
But other than that, they haven't done new stuff since 05. 17 years, almost 18 years, I guess, by the time it comes out. And here they are, they're damn near 80. Time to put out a new album. But I guess they got a ton of stuff, and they're gonna put out an album of new stuff.
Wow, that 6 decades going, six decades strong. That's ridiculous. That's so crazy cool.
So some of the drum stuff was from Charlie left before he left,
Yeah.
And Steve Jordan, who's the touring drummer now, is doing the rest of the album. And I guess Keith pretty much does all the bass. I plays bass on most of this album too. So, which a lot of people don't know, that's not that unusual for him. Going back,
Oh,
oh
do you
gosh,
the circus, the whatchamacallit circus in London? He played with
oh
John
oh oh
Lennon, I
oh
think
yeah
Eric Clapton, and he played the bass for him. They were doing
yeah
I
yeah
can't remember the song. Oh,
yeah. I forgot about that. But I'm thinking even on Stones records, because there was a time I remember like Sympathy for the Devil. Oh gosh, Street Fight Man.
yeah. There was some
Oh,
big
there
name
was
songs there. Yeah.
he did. It was just like in the middle of the night he'd get this idea and he'd call up Charlie Watt and they'd go into the studio and Keith would play all the guitar and all the bass and Charlie do the drums and they'd lay it down. So
Wow.
so that's
Wow.
not unusual for Keith to do stuff like that. But
Well, Ron Wood told the Sun that we are recording the new album now, and we are going to LA in a few weeks to carry it on and finish it off. Charlie is on some of the tracks, and drummer Steve Jordan. So yeah, good for them, man. What the hell? It'll be interesting to hear it. Really the fact
yeah.
that they can continue putting out original music after 60 years is just insane.
Well,
Wow.
it's just hearing the Stones too over the years, their sound has definitely evolved, and they hear it from 17-year gap. That'll be interesting, I think. So,
And
and besides that, yeah, they have a every once in a while you see these tribute type albums come out, and they're doing a country tribute album to the Stones. So a
yes,
lot of
they are.
yeah,
Yes, they are.
a lot of country artists are
You're
doing their
talking
take
Brooks
on
and Dunn, Eric Church, Steve
yeah.
Steve Earle. Here's a name we don't hear
Oh,
enough.
love me some Steve
There's
Earle. Yeah,
a
you got that
name we
right.
don't hear enough.
Yeah.
Marcus King, Little Big Town, Ashley McBride, Maren Morris. Oh boy, she's controversial. Lainey Wilson, Zach Brown band. That's how cool is that? Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Stoned Cold Country. Obviously, play on words there, stoned. But
Sure.
yeah, I've got a couple of those type of tribute albums. Those are kind of fun to listen to sometimes. So
Wow,
yeah,
Steve
and who
Earle.
who better? Who better than Stones?
Sure. Wow, that is very cool, man. Yeah, good deal. That'll be interesting to hear for sure. And oh man. Oh gosh. And well, here's some, I don't know if this is how serious this is, but Cheap Trick, Rick Nielsen, he had to take some time off or get some minor surgery done apparently. My guess is that's from carrying this damn guitar. That's
You're
my
probably right.
He's got
You're
a
probably
bad
right.
back just like me. Yeah. Carrying that damn five neck hammer guitar for crying out loud. He's been carrying that since the 70s. So,
Yeah, no doubt.
even if he's only bringing it out for a song, that'll still break your bank after so
That's
many
enough.
times.
Yeah, and
But
just
yeah,
just the ergonomically wrong positions you must put yourself in to play that thing. Yeah, but yeah, I guess he's had some minor procedure, some undisclosed minor procedure, and he's gonna miss about a week worth of shows. But never fear, they got somebody right there to step in.
and who would that be?
Robin Zander's son, Robin Taylor Zander. So he's
Bingo.
gonna step right in. So
We saw him too.
I
We
get
saw him earlier this year in concert.
yeah,
He played with them. He was the third guitarist in the back.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure he'll feel it right and no problem.
So yeah, just like when Bunny Carlos had to quit touring, they put in Dak Nielsen, Rick's kid. So they really keep it in the family, man. I mean,
True that.
somebody falls out, they bring in the next generation, man. So
Yeah.
besides that, too, I didn't ever know this, but Rick Nielsen's involved in a vodka. I don't know if you saw this, or it's called Rock and Vodka, and
Really?
he was doing a bottle signing. I guess that's kind of what he's going to do in the off time. Something I'm not exactly sure, but
I'll be darned.
yeah, he's doing a bottle signing. I didn't know they had that, but I guess it was very popular. He did one, and the people were out the door, so they had to cut people off. But
Wow.
yeah,
Very cool. I got no problem with musicians delving into alcohol. No problem at all. Geez, I think everybody's got some kind of specialty beer. You know, one of the all the big rock groups are going there.
Yeah,
Of course, Sammy's legendary. You
yeah.
know, yeah.
Metallica's even got a commercial. I don't know if you saw that for the blackened whiskey.
No, I
Yeah, there's a
haven't.
TV commercial out for that now. So
Hey, why not? Why not
yeah,
expand the empires? So that's cool. You know, more power to him. Who was it? Wasn't it Dan Aykroyd that had a vodka that came
oh
in a
really?
real interesting bottle? I can't remember what it is. I'll have to look into that. I'll try to remember that.
And
And
of course, we just report on Gene Simmons' money bag vodka as well. So yeah,
everybody's into
uh,
vodka. Come on, more tequila. I would say
I'm with
let's
you. Yeah,
bring on the more tequila, man.
yeah. Lots of
Ah, that
tequila.
is good. Good. Yes, sir. So yeah, so there you go. Oh, uh wow, Anthrax. Here we go, man. Anthrax. Where are they? The good boys of Anthrax. There they are, the lovely lads. The lovely lads of Anthrax. They're going to be hitting a
Yeah,
they're going to be hitting the touring circuit, which is cool, and they're bringing along their good friends. There he is, Zach Wild, Black Label Society. Now, you mentioned this to me earlier. Like, how the hell are these people finding all the time? Do you want to expound on that?
yeah. I mean, like we were reporting, they got this Pantera tribute reunion, wherever word you want to put in
Right,
there,
right. Yep.
tour going on, and it's Zach Wild and Charlie Benetti from Anthrax, and along with Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown. And now last week we reported where Rex Brown starting a new project, and now Zach Wild and Charlie Benetti's bands are touring together. So it just seems odd. Like, are they really serious about this Pantera thing? And there hasn't been, they had some South American dates announced, Mexico, and I think some
Right.
down South America, like 4 dates, maybe at the most. But then that's all you've heard. So it's like, what's going on with the Pantera thing? Are they waiting for summer? And it's going to be a summer, tour situation. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It just
Yeah,
seems odd though that they got all this other stuff
all
going
this.
on.
Yeah. Too many pokers in the fire, man. It just if it works out, fine. But wow,
Well,
that's
this is a
something.
North American tour. It's 24 dates in January and February. So, I
Hmm.
guess, that leaves plenty of time to get going with something in March. But gosh, it would just seem like something that cool that they would just be so focused on that. But it's like, oh, yeah, we'll get to that later. It seems like everybody's just, yeah, we're going to do this other stuff first.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
And joining them, a special guest on this run will be Northern California's thrash metal gods, Exodus. So that
Yeah,
sounds like
just
going to
on
be a
the,
pretty crazy.
yeah, not on the whole tour, but just on the California
You would
dates,
call
I think.
Anthrax what? Thrash metal, right?
Yeah, I guess they kind of are, but
Pretty
yeah,
much,
they're
yeah.
kind of in that lump. I saw them one time. That's a good fun show, man. I'm not a big fan of theirs. I don't listen to them
Right,
very often,
right. But I'm sure it was good
but it
times
was a really really good fun show, man.
with Ian. Ian, yeah, for sure. All right. Oh man. Oh, here we go. Another tour coming up, which is well, I'm not really surprised, and it'll probably be a killer. That will be Stevie Nicks and Billy Joel. Where are you, Stevie? There she is. Huh? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Stevie's 74 now. Oh my
Jeez,
gosh.
gosh, I feel young. No, I don't. I feel old. I feel horrible. There's Billy Joel. That's going to be good. Whoever goes to that show is going to be entertained. You guarantee. I mean, with the catalog of songs that these two have, are you kidding? It's just going to be one hit after another. It's going to be nonstop hits all night long. Boom.
Yeah, Billy Joel, he seems to have a thing for doing these type of tours. He's done them with Elton John and oh gosh, I don't know who else, but
Right.
yeah. Now look, they're right there. Now stop. I've gotten stopped a couple times by random strangers in shopping shopping stores and stuff. They think I look like Billy Joel. Now what do you think? There's a resemblance there? I don't know.
Well,
But
shave your head first, and then we'll
shave
talk.
my head and then yeah. But
Well,
I don't know if that's flattering
if
or
you've
not,
been
but
stopped, hey,
I've been
well,
stopped a
come
couple
on.
times. So
Of course, it's flattering. Billy Joel for crying. That well, I've known you for too long. I know the difference, but it's very cool that people have stopped you and said that. Heck, that's
I
very
don't
cool.
know. It stopped me twice, Billy Joel, and just the other day I got stopped for Bruce Willis, which I really don't see, but
What? Wow.
whatever.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, they right now they only have 3 dates announced, which seems, I don't know. Are you gonna do this or I don't know. I mean,
Well,
they don't need to do anything, I guess, but whatever.
well, I didn't want to do the 3, but Billy gave me a call and said, hey, sugar, what do you say we go out and do some gigs? I know you don't need the money, but you can't stay off of this stage. And so he said, yeah, let's go and do it. Let's do one in Nashville, Tennessee, and Arlington, Texas, and Inglewood, California.
Yeah.
I figure they're gonna probably end up doing a full tour. I don't know though. They're sort of
Well, they're
they're
saying
really
they have
spread
the 3
out.
announced, and they're may do up to 5 or 7, which still seems pretty limited, really. But
Well, that the beauty is they can do what the hell they want. These three, I think, are pretty spread out. So yeah, they
yeah,
just said, hey, whatever,
one
Good for
one thing I've noticed, and speaking of Billy Joel, and I was going to bring this up last week too with Jerry Lee Lewis. There seems to be a lot of singing piano player type artists that have the first name for the last name. You know what I mean? You got Billy Joel,
okay.
right? You got Elton John, right?
Elton.
You got Leon Russell, right? You got Ray Charles.
Oh man, you're freaking me out now. Come on.
You got Lionel Richie.
Holy cow.
And you got Jerry Lee Lewis. There's three names right there. Jerry Lee Lewis.
Wow.
And
This is too much, man.
even the ladies, you have a few of them. You got Tori Amos, right?
Uh-huh.
You got
Wow.
you got Amy Lee, right?
Uh-huh.
With
Okay.
Evanescence.
Right. Yeah.
And then, although she's more of a guitar player, she's known, but she plays piano from time to time. Is Joni Mitchell.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what's up with having the last names for first names as piano playing songs, singers.
Wow.
But,
That's well done.
just
That's
an observation I've made over the years, man.
I know it hit me like, like that. Man, that's crazy cool, man. But that's going to be a good tour. It's only 3 gigs, and like I say, they're doing one show in March, one show in April, and one show in May. So that's really spreading out the dates. They're really getting into the towns they're playing in.
That's what sounds like Mick Mars wants to do, is just kind of once a month, and
easy does it, and bam. Well, good for them. That works. Oh, here's a very cool subject. I'm very, very excited about this. Our very own Wendy O. Williams. Ooh,
oh yeah,
ooh. Yeah. She's gonna be. They got a performance coming out of hers, apparently. Yeah, from 1985. Oh my
yeah. So this is post plasmatics then. This is when she was doing solo stuff. So,
right there, that picture right there basically says everything you need to know about Wendy O. Williams. Just bad to the freaking bone.
Yeah,
No barriers.
Well, right there.
No barriers whatsoever. Yeah, I think that was the bus she was standing on that was burning when it was going drive. Yeah.
But they drove through the wall of TVs, right? It was the wall of TVs, and then the flaming bus goes driving through.
Yeah. She was one of a kind. There will never be anything near her. I mean, she was truly a shock rocker. Wow. And she had a nice body. I mean, gotta say, as a guy, I'm just gotta say, but so yeah,
this performance was out of London, I guess, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe they had plans of making something out of this at the time that just never came to be, but for whatever reason, it's coming out as a DVD now, and she was joined on stage by Lemmy.
Bingo,
Lemmy,
yeah.
So
woo, hot damn, yeah.
There's a party right there. There's a party
God.
right there. Wendy
Yeah,
Williams and Lemmy.
That's really
Oh yeah.
cool, man. I'm very, very excited about that. I can't wait to see that.
People
'Cause-
don't realize too at the time. I mean, she was, fairly getting kind of big, man. She was kind of, almost legitimate. She did the solo album. The first one was Wow, WOW, Wendy O. Williams,
Mhm.
and that was her first solo one, and that was produced by Gene Simmons.
There you go.
And she was actually nominated for a Grammy for Best Female Vocal, if you can believe it. So I mean,
Wow,
she was kind of, kind of big, man. But
man, oh man.
she was on the cutting edge for sure, man.
Yeah,
Big
she was
time.
she was doomed. She was doomed to die. Quite honest, she was
Yeah,
totally out of her
yeah,
mind. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
You always got
boy,
the feeling she was gonna check out early. Yeah, but
Wendy,
yeah,
oh,
here's
how
here's a
cool is
CD I
that?
got that with the plasmatics. The
Very
No Hope for
cool.
the Wretched. Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Good
how
stuff,
cool,
man.
man.
Good
Wow, very
stuff.
cool. And here we go. Talking about very cool. The legendary. Let me see. Get him there. There he is. Weird Al. There he is. Got a good picture of him there. There's a good picture of him. What a dude. What a freaking dude. Really. Everybody knows Weird Al. And you can't complain. Sorry. He's everything he's done is stellar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right from that first performance on what it was, Tom Snyder or something. He another one rides a bus. He did with
Right.
just
Right. Right. Right.
his whatchamacallit and
Accordion.
the accordion and his
Yeah.
buddy I can't remember his buddy's name, but yeah, on the drum.
John Bermuda Schwartz.
Bermuda Schwartz. Thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, but apparently Weird Al, he's saying, he's not too concerned about ever doing anything else, really. You know, and more power to him, most people, a lot of people probably don't know, but he lost both his parents one night from carbon monoxide poisoning in their house from their furnace.
Really? Yeah,
They
I know
died.
that.
His parents died. Yeah, so he's been through pain. Everybody's been through pain, and yet he still got that damn smile going. And he's probably decided, I may not expound too much more on musical musical laughter, so who knows?
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time, man, since like very early '80s, maybe even like '79. He might have had something
Dr.
going on.
Demento. Yeah, he got
Dr. Demento, man. I remember we used to stay up late as a kid and, like 15, 16 years old and
yeah.
listen on Sunday nights with Dr. Demento, whose real name is
Oh, no, you tell me, man.
Tim Hansen. Tim Hansen.
Really?
But yeah, I don't know why I know that one. But yeah, now he's got the movie coming out too.
With Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, Daniel
Playing him,
Radcliffe's playing him. It's not on Hulu. It's on one of those streaming services. I don't know. I can't keep up with him. But
Roku.
Roku, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hasn't done anything for a while, really. I think 2014, I think was the last time he did something. But it's like once he does a song, and then like years later, if I hear that song now, I always think, oh, I get disappointed if it's not the Weird Al version, man. It's like I would rather hear the Weird Al version, man.
You got that right, yeah. Yeah. So he's really left an indelible mark on the music scene of America. I mean, really, and nobody did it better than him. So if he wants to kick back and retire himself, I'm sure he's filthy rich. So there's no doubt about that. No doubt he's. I should have checked that, but I'm sure he's filthy rich. So he's fine. So.
Yeah, it just seems like he doesn't have the creative, I don't know, whatever, need to do stuff anymore, and just does other stuff. He's got, like I say, he's got that movie going on, and I don't know.
Well,
else
and he quoted, if a brilliant idea pops in my head, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving that to other people for the time being. Yeah, he's had enough. So, Weird Al, you're the best, man. I'd love to meet him.
Nobody will ever do it as well as he did.
I would love to meet him. I really would. What a great dude, man. Oh man. And here's a. Here we go. Oh, okay. Let me load it up here. Where are they? There are they. Okay, and then here we have really an interesting article by about ACDC, their original singer, I don't, I did not. Many people may not know that before Bon Scott, they had another singer,
That's right.
uh, Dave Evans. Yeah, yeah. I don't have a picture of him. It doesn't matter. But it's
No, it doesn't. You're not gonna remember him anyway.
no, and what he did, he recorded their first two singles. Can I sit next to you, girl, and baby, please don't go. But in '74, less than a year after the AC/DC's first gig, he was out of the band, and he was replaced by Bon Scott,
Scott,
and
yeah.
the rest is history. And it's funny because he was asked if he has any regrets, and you know he's trying to suck it up, but it just ain't working. He's you can't have regrets, he says. I'm having the most incredible life. I travel the whole world, and I'm a solo artist, of course, so I don't have to take a band with me. Yeah, but he ain't making shit for money. You know, I have musicians in all different countries. I go wherever I want to go, and I see all the countries, and I do what I want to do, not what the band has to tell me to do, and that kind of thing. So I have the freedom to be where I want to be with people I want to be with. And at the end of the day, it's all about freedom. Life, life is about freedom, freedom of choice and being with people that you really love. And I'm lucky to do that. That's such a line of crap.
Doesn't that kind of sound like a homeless guy? I'm free to go wherever I want. I don't have
God
to
dang it. I get
I'm
my
not,
meals out of a dumpster,
yeah.
damn it. Yeah, yeah.
I'm,
But it's funny though, because he's really trying to convince himself, that he's better off not being an AC/DC, than just having the freedom to be a solo artist. And bullshit. He's
Yeah.
really he's sitting at the bar just watching one of their videos on the bar's television saying, God dang, son of a gun, it could have been me.
Yeah, I used to be in that band. Yeah.
Yeah, telling everybody at the bar, yeah, I was the lead singer of that band. Oh, yeah, sure, you drunk SOB. Yeah, sure you were. Yeah, 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 you were in the band. No, man, I was. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, you ain't got a pot to piss in, pal. So
So this story came out. This just came out. It was an interview on Argentinian radio. So yeah, that's how well he's doing,
wow.
man. He's on Argentinian radio, and they're asking him this stuff. So yeah, apparently he's had a couple projects since then. One is a band called Rabbit. Of course, he's done well. We all know and love Rabbit.
Oh, beautiful band. Great hits.
And then the other one is Dave Evans and the Thunder Down Under.
Wow.
So,
wow,
yeah.
they're fabulous bands, I'm sure. Nobody's heard of them, but I'm sure they're fabulous nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's so full of crap. That's funny how that came up,
Yeah, he probably hooks up with Pete Best from time to time, and they probably cry.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He says, I've had a fantastic career. Yeah. You ain't got shit for money and have to keep playing. Bullshit. I think he's full of crap, but more power to you, Dave Evans. And here's a funny one. I really dig this one. This really really blows my mind. Let me see here. Let me get it up. Oh, there they are. Poison. Why are you why are we showing Poison? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they stole it outright. Well, why don't you lay it? Do you know the story?
Yeah, it's
lay it on me.
One of the things where you want to say allegedly before you tell the story or whatever, but I don't think it's allegedly in this case. So apparently the band Europe, the Swedish band Europe that we all know,
they are.
Final Countdown, and now
handsome group of lads. Yes,
a couple other sappy songs or something. But apparently one of the guys in the band's name is Key Marcello, and apparently he's got his panties in a bunch. I'm saying the Poison song "I Want Action" was stolen from them. So you're thinking, okay, is this like the whole song? What's going on with it? And no, it's just a chorus from one of their songs called "We Go Rocking," and it sounds a lot like the chorus from We Want Action, I Want Action, or whatever. And if you listen to it, it does. It really does. I mean, they definitely, took that, just put their words into it. But I guess I don't know when this came up, but years ago this came up, and they settled out of court.
Oh,
And
there you go.
but now I guess this guy's kind of crying that that he got one lump sum rather than royalties for however long. So
Boy.
so
Oh, the poor people of Europe. I don't know. I may actually have one of their songs or one of their albums. I can't believe it. There they are. Uh, I think I accidentally got it somehow, but I think, God almighty, I think I actually have one of their albums. What's wrong with that? There's a lot wrong with that. I'll tell you what.
no,
Do you have any other stuff there, Doc?
no, I don't.
See,
No.
you're the smart one. Yeah. Oh man, oh
I
man,
do
oh
have
man.
some poison. I have some poison, but no Europe. But
Okay.
well, I guess
Well,
it came from their producer, a guy named Rick Browd, brought in the Europe album and a Hanoi Rocks album, and said, here, listen to these guys and cover this and sound like this. And so that's kind of what they took it from. They're like, nobody's ever gonna, this is a glam band from Sweden. Nobody's ever gonna know. And then of course later they come out with a hit, and then people start going into their back catalog and find other stuff.
Oh boy.
Just be
Oh,
original, man. Just be original, man. Don't. But that's kind of crazy times of the '80s. It's kind of how it was to do anything to make it, and it wasn't about originality, but it was the MTV generation. Substance over style, or style over substance, I should say. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Here's a story that keeps popping up, which I find interesting. Oh boy, here we go. There he is. That's how I remember him, with that row of Fender Bandmaster bottoms, Fender twin reverbs on top, and just killing it. Ted Nugent, back in the day, I saw him a couple of times at the Aragon Ballroom, and yeah, he would have that line of Fender twin reverbs on top of Bandmaster bottoms, and just destroy them. I thought the walls were going to cave in one of the gigs. I may have been, overly induced, if you will, but I thought the walls were caving. It was so loud, and well, that ain't the Ted today. I'll say that. Holy cow! Him and Joan Jett. Joan, where are you? There she is, right there. Ooh, yeah, Joan. They've been in sort of a back and forth war about this and that. You got the info on that, don't you, Doc? You want to expound on that?
Yeah, it's been going on for a few months, about the length of our show, probably, but we haven't brought it up before. But apparently, Ted brought up in an interview about a Rolling Stone article that came out of 100 greatest guitarists, and one of them was Joan Jett, and he says no, she's not 100 greatest guitarists. It's very, very flattering. I love Joan. 100 greatest rockers, most definitely. But she's not one of the 100 greatest guitar players. So Joan Jett comes back out, and she turns into a whole male dominance kind of thing. And
well, let me tell you. I have to agree. She's not one of the 100 greatest guitarists, rock guitarists. She may be one of the 100 greatest rockers. That I could definitely agree with. But rock guitarists, no, there's no way in hell. She just plays bar chords. I mean, that's all her music is just bar chords. Boom, 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 boom. There's no real anything. So I don't know what's going on. So no, Joan, she's great, but she never was. She's an excellent rocker. Like I say, she's one of the best female rockers, if not one of the top 5 female rockers in the rock situation. But she's not one of the 100 greatest guitarists. I mean,
No.
good grief.
No, and then Joni Mitchell was on that list too, and and Ted started naming off a lot of people, and mostly hard rock, oriented guitarists, and it's true they are better guitarists, but I don't know if
Yeah.
Rolling Stone's trying to cover all genres. I'm not really sure what their agenda is, Rolling Stone, but it started off as that. So
Yeah.
Joan kind of snapped back, that. I've been dealing with this stuff my whole career. I suppose he thinks he should be on the list instead of me, which Ted never brought up. But quite honestly, is Ted Nugent a better guitar player than Joan Jett? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Should he be on the best 100 rock guitarists?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but
that's right.
He never will be. But just sort of was politics. But
correct.
So Jones kind of stepped back. He thinks he's a tough guy and he plays a tough guy. But and it brought up the fact of he's a draft dodger, and I don't know if people are familiar with this story, but apparently in an interview in High Times magazine in 1977, he said in order to avoid the draft, he shit his pants at the draft.
Okay,
office
and I checked that out, and I checked out a guy who was pretty much a leftist though, and he said if you listen to the whole interview, he was making fun of everything. It was all, what he said before that and what he said after, but it's all a joke. He's just making fun of the whole situation. And this leftist guy basically said, he was basically just making fun of the situation. So apparently it's one of those deals. It could be, I don't know. It could be, maybe he did shit his pants, but it could be one of those deals where somebody takes one line out of a paragraph conversation and turns it into something that it wasn't meant to
Ted,
be.
I've heard the whole story, and Ted said I'm not gonna say it verbatim, but as close as to my memory, that he got his draft notice and he had to report in like a month. So for that whole month, he didn't bathe, he didn't do anything, he didn't he didn't eat right, he just anything he could do just to be down, just to close to death as possible. He said, just and he said to the point he would even shit himself and just have crusted feces on him.
Yeah, but did he or not? He wasn't drafted though, so hey.
You know what? What does it matter? Still doesn't take away from his guitar playing. Still doesn't make Joan Jett a better guitar player. It's fun to talk shit about Ted Nugent, but
he had such a unique sound too. The Gibson Birdland guitar, not a Les Paul, not a Stratocaster. He had the big hollow body Birdland that got the most insane controlled feedback through those Fender Twins. It was just it was stunning. It was so good. I mean, it was just a couple of amazing concerts, I've probably seen it like 3 times. I think I saw him once at the International Amphitheater. And boy, in terms of guitar playing, come on. He's a little bit better than Joan Jett. I mean, he's great lead player.
Yeah.
He's wrote some great songs. I mean, the Ted Nugent album with Stranglehold and all that.
Yeah.
That's some amazingly good stuff. So yeah, that's a bunch of crap. So, but let them go on. Let them have their yayas and stuff. Because Joan Jett, whatever, I played a couple of her songs, her hit songs in bands. I Love Rock and Roll and whatever the other one was. Gosh, it hurts now to even think about it. It's just basic stuff. It's no big deal. It's just bar chords. Boom, 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 boom.
Right.
So
and then now Ted's kind of come back with from Jones' response now. So Ted has just said that exactly what you were talking about. That it was a joke. That it said one time, and now everybody's hanging on that. And
one thing.
Going on that sort
with
of
High Times of all magazines. So.
But to me, honestly, what does it matter? I mean, what does it matter? And if he did do it, I mean, I could see that. A young up and coming musician with the promise that he had. Is he going to go off to war, or is he going to try to get it out of it?
Fucking war. That's not. Yeah. Don't even get me started on the war. Yeah. A bunch of big freaking coats up in Washington deciding that a bunch of American young men got to die. Frick that noise. I wouldn't have wanted to go either. So, either way, he's still a great guitarist, and man, he's he loves America, so more power to him.
Yeah, we saw him a couple years back. We saw him up
Yeah.
in
McHenry County
Yeah.
Fairgrounds, packed
Yeah.
house, huge crowd, and he kicked some ass. It was a
Yeah, I
great
saw him
time,
then,
man.
and I saw him back in the day with Aerosmith. Yeah, open for Aerosmith. This is like '86, I want to say, something like that. But
Very cool, man.
yeah,
Very
good old
cool.
Ted, man.
Yeah, yeah, and here we go. With basically gonna I figure it's gonna be our main topic. It turns out Huey Lewis in the news. They sold their musical catalog for $20 million, which I think is underpaid myself.
Yeah, that
Uh,
doesn't seem like a whole lot, when you see some of these other numbers. But then as I started looking into it, that's not that uncommon. There's some other ones around there that you would think would be more, but for sure 20 is pretty low. And that just seems to be I don't know what you want to call it, something that's been happening a lot lately, where these bigger companies, I'm not even sure what these companies are, but they're buying up all these rights, all the publishing rights, all this music. And it goes back, oh gosh, goes back, I can't even remember. I think Paul McCartney was the first one I remember. He bought Buddy Holly's catalog back in the 80s.
uh-huh.
And then I remember, I'm sure many people remember the story where then he made the suggestion to Michael Jackson
Ah.
that, hey, you should get into buying publishing rights. It's a good idea. And then of course, what happened from there. Yeah.
Well, in terms of Huey Lewis, I I heard an interview with him recently, and he doesn't perform anymore. He's got serious hearing issues. He's got probably tinnitus, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Serious issues. So he's given up playing. He's retired from performing out, which is really a shame. But now he's worried about. I believe he's worried with animal conservation.
Okay.
Pets and stuff like that, which I believe that's the case. But yeah, $20 million, and that includes, The Power of Love, I Want a New Drug, Hip to Be Square. Those are mega hits. Power
Do
of
you
Love
believe in love and
so, oh my gosh,
oh
Power
yeah.
of Love and all that being so prominent in the movie Back to the Future,
Right,
which
right,
was
right.
Huey Lewis all over the place. Now, he even
Yeah.
played one of the teachers that
That's
said
right. Yeah.
Michael's Box's band was, "You're just too loud." So very cool. But 20 million, that's really low. That seems really low to me. So that's a shame. Well, nonetheless, he's probably worth a whole bunch of money. Those are great songs, for crying out loud. And yeah, you talk about Michael Jackson. Yeah, that was really something. That really, boy, McCartney brought up to Michael Jackson how it's good to invest in publishing, song publishing.
Yeah.
And I'll be doggone. Sure enough, the Beatles catalog actually came up for sale. Amazing. Let me see here.
And I don't get how that works. How does it come up for sale? If they don't want to sell it, how do you I don't understand how the legalities of that work, but
Well, what happened was, let me see. ATV apparently owned the Beatles songs. I don't know how that happened, but they screwed up and they went up for sale, and the company owned 4,000 songs, including 251 songs by the Beatles. And at that time, McCartney said it was out of his price range, and Yoko Ono, who was Lennon's obviously surviving wife, said she was fine with Jackson owning them rather than a huge corporation. So Jackson ended up taking over all the Beatles songs. Branca bid 30 million, but the other bid brought it up to 47.5 million. And wow. So so Jackson got all the rights, but he basically stabbed McCartney in the back.
big time. Big time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And wow. McCartney said, I think it's dodgy to do something like that. To be someone's friend and then buy the rug they're standing on. And I tend to agree with that. And boy, that was just a low move. And and Michael Jackson says to him, "Well, it's just business." Well, bullshit,
Right. Yeah.
bullshit. So, jeez. Nonetheless, McCartney's worth $1 billion. So, and Michael Jackson, we all know how that ended up. So, good riddance to everything. Good riddance. Jeez, don't stab your friend in the back. They had just done the video. Say. That's how they had say.
Right.
I believe it is, and
Yeah.
that's how they had gotten together and been talking and stuff. And they were friends
Yeah.
at that point. But boy, after that, stab in the back. Sorry.
Well, yeah, they did a
RJ.
couple songs together. They did that one was on a McCartney album, and
Yeah,
then on Thriller is "The Girl Is Mine," where
right.
McCartney does that one.
McCartney had a part of that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but boy, that's rotten,
But
That-
getting back to just the selling of the catalog just seems to be a thing here lately. I don't know where these companies are getting this kind of money. I'm not, again, I don't know publishing rights. I don't pretend to, but it just seems like some serious money is being thrown around.
what a hell of a
Um,
business that is, huh?
yeah,
Jeez. We
you
got a
know, we're,
breakdown. We got a breakdown by month of the year 2021, and it's insane. They've spent about $5 billion in 2021 buying up rights. These certain companies have. It's just amazing. Sony Music, for instance, back in December, they brought your legendary, your buddy, the boss.
us.
They bought his catalog for 500 million plus. I mean,
Yep.
wow. For about
Yeah,
five,
that put Bruce in the billionaire category. He was already worth
yeah,
half a bill, and then that pushed him over. That kind of doubled his money there. And you know, boy, to me, an artist like Springsteen or several other artists that he's gone to court before over control of his music, over the
right.
publishing rights.
Uh-huh.
He's back in between Born to Run and Darkness on the Edge of Town. That's that was put off by a year or two because of battling that kind of thing. But and now I don't know. I guess it's just you get to the twilight years and you kind of start thinking, what's going to become of my legacy? Where's it going to go? And I guess you could leave it to your kids, but it's kind of a burden to them. What they have no
Yes,
business sense, or
bingo.
they have
Exact.
nothing to
That's
do.
such a good
You know,
point. It
you know,
would be more of a burden, to have
yeah,
to figure all this crap out. Just,
yeah,
just cash in, take
yeah,
care of your family, and boom, that's the best thing you could possibly do. Absolutely, Doc.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess what they're doing. So a lot of
Yeah.
these bands are just figured, hey, I've done what I can do in my career, and I've made the money I'm going to make, and now let's
Now it's time to cash it
cash
in.
out. Yeah, yeah,
Boom. Cash it out. Yeah, they also ZZ Top, they sold their catalog for only 50 million. And that
yeah.
was
See,
in
that's
December.
surprising too. Yeah,
This is all in December, just December. It's just mind blowing. Primary Wave acquired stakes in a bunch of James Brown songs for 90 million. Jim Peterick, 20 million catalog deal. I mean, this is all in 1 month.
yeah.
It's
Well,
just
even Jim Peterick, people may not realize, they associate him with Survivor and well, even going back to Ides of March, but people may not realize. And I remember you corrected me on this one, is that he wrote a lot of the 38 Special songs
Yes,
too.
yes, he did,
Yeah.
making a bunch of money. And in November of 2021, Motley Crue, they sold their catalog for 90 million.
90 million, yeah.
90 million. That's just mind blowing. Toto's drummer, Jeff Beccaro, $30 million deal. I mean, these guys are cashing in big time.
So I see
Wow.
when I was reading this list, I look at ones like that where it's just a member of the band. So like Jeff Beccaro, is he just selling his, I don't know, whatever,
His
20,
stake.
yeah,
Yes.
his 20% or whatever it is. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see. And I'm sure each one of these, I'm sure the contracts all have different stipulations, and they
Boy,
have some of these they call it a 360 deal where it's merchandise and touring and everything. And then some were this. I remember seeing one of them on here. I think we'll get to it. Prince. It was just 42%. It was just 42% of his. So I'm sure there's different stipulations and different variations on all these contracts.
I'm sure some of them can get complicated. I imagine some of them just sell outright. Here's the whole, 500 million here. Have the whole damn mess.
Yep.
Give me a check. I'm out of here. Goodbye. But October, Bing Crosby, primary wave, 50+ million on his deal for the Bingle, one of the fathers of the year. No, he was.
Yeah.
He was horrible.
He was
horrible to his kids. God, Tina Turner. Yeah. She gotten 50 million above. She's up there. She sold her catalog for 50 million above. Boy, Ike's rolling over in his freaking grave. God, what a jerkwad he was. Man, what a douche. Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Get out of here.
140 million.
140 million. Wow. Holy cow. Man, oh man. That's righteous bucks there. Crying out loud. That is really crazy cool. And Kristen McVie, 27 million sold her rights.
Boy, yes, she's done some solo stuff too, but I mean, obviously, most of anything worth anything is probably going Fleetwood Mac. But is that just her stake in that, or
Boy, oh boy, great!
And she wrote some of the songs, so I don't know if those songs that she owned the publishing to those outright. I have no idea how this stuff works out.
Wow, how that works. Yeah, here's the Prince deal. Yeah, that happened in August. Yeah. His estate valued between 100 and 300 million. Sounds about right. Yeah.
That's a pretty wide gap, though. 100 to 300. I mean,
200 million gap. Yeah. Geez, Chris Isaac, 8 figures. He's lucky for that. Oh, what happened in June? Yeah, nobody good, nobody big. But boy, oh boy, just a lot of money spent all year long.
Yes, some of the other ones. Paul Simon is 200 million.
Whoo, doggy. There it is. Yeah. That happened in March. Wow, 200. I'm not surprised about that though. I grew up with a lot of folk music. Quite honestly, I have.
Paul Simon's. I mean, gosh,
I had folk. About his early stuff. I grew up with
Simon and Garfunkel,
from the beginning. Yeah. I grew up with all that stuff, and I'm not surprised at all because he's got some great songs. Geez.
Oh, yeah.
Reach Music in March. Reach Music by Abide. Geez, there you go. There's a good word for you. Abide. Reach Music by.
I reckon I don't need no book learning.
Reach Music by 50% interest in song catalog of Judas Priest, Glenn Timken. So there you go. He's cashing in some. He probably good. He does too. He get the best treatment he can and whatnot for his Parkinson's. Crying out loud. David Crosby sold his catalog to RnRGzrs Iconic Artists Group. So, including recorded music and publishing rights. Wow. And they don't say how much. Oh, shame on them. RnRGzrs in February bought the Beach Boys rights to be obviously $100 million plus deal. There's no doubt about that. Cripes, that should be a $500 million plus deal. Jiminy creepers. But Round Hills UK listed fund starts buying $282 million it spent on hits recorded by the Beatles, Marvin Gaye, and more. So these people aren't, this is amazing.
Yeah, look at that. I don't know if there's like certain songs. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I'll bet. It's amazing. And here we go to recently, Primary Wave buys legendary Sun Records. This was in January of 2021. And $30 million deal, including masters for Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis. So they got all the masters for Jerry Lee Lewis or whatever he did when he was at Sun Records.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. Man, oh man. Wise Group, they acquired the Zombies catalog. Everybody, this is amazing. This is an amazing new industry that, it's pretty recent, don't you think?
Well, to this extent, for sure. I mean, you said we were talking earlier, going all the way back to the '80s with Michael Jackson, the Beatles stuff. So, but yeah, to this extent, as far as these companies, I think yes, it's a new thing. That's what they focus on, is just getting these publishing rights, and they, I don't know what all they do. I'm sure just through advertising and you know
Oh, here's a deal. A couple of deals I'd like to find out about. The Hypnosis acquired 50% of Neil Young's song catalog. Oh, for about
Yeah.
150 million. Okay. 50% for 150 million. So he's still got 50% and he's rich as hell. And then same company.
And you got to check 150 million.
Yeah, exactly. And he's still gonna get 50% of the royalties. Hypnosis fully acquires Lindsey Buckingham's song catalog, including 100% writer and publisher share of Fleetwood Mac's hits. Wow. So yeah, they made out. They don't give an amount on that, but that was a ton of money.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
wheelbarrow full of money there. Wow. It's just an amazing new industry. It's just interesting to see who's going to who's going to sell next. It's just amazing. Wow. What an industry.
Yeah, I don't have the
man.
numbers, but I know prior to this year's couple few years back. But you remember Bowie? Bowie sold off his stuff for hundreds of millions. I don't remember exactly. I want to say like 300, 350, something like that. But and remember Neil Diamond sold off his stuff for 300 million.
Yeah, everybody. It's wow.
So,
Wow.
so you
It's
hear these
amazing.
crazy numbers, and then you hear Bruce 500 million. Man, it seems to be the top mark. Man, just I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Bruce. That's a hell of a catalog, but to be that much more than everybody else, I don't know. But
Well, I guess the Beatles catalog's worth over a bill, but
yeah,
it's just geez, crazy numbers on this new industry that blossomed to where wow, they must figure they're gonna in the long run it's gonna pay off paying that kind of money for the songs. But boy, oh boy,
it's got to take a long time to recoup that kind of money, though. For some of these, I
I
mean,
would
I'm sure
think.
they got the money to put up front, but that's a super long term investment, man. And then
Yeah.
you're hoping, in a couple generations that people are still listening to Bruce Springsteen, in
Uh-huh.
50 years or whatever.
Betting on the
So
future for sure.
yeah, that's a little bit of a gamble too. I mean, but
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I guess they
yeah.
know what they're doing. I don't know. It's their money, not mine.
Yep. Well, more power to them, let them
Yeah.
make their money. I'll be rolling in the dough when I win that 1.9 billion dollar Powerball drawing that's happening in about
Yeah.
like a couple hours. So I'll be doing all right. But until then, thanks
Yeah.
everybody for stopping on by, man. Really been fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We really had a good time today. A lot of news, a lot of quirky news, a lot of goofy things going on, and oh yeah, and we did get our for next year's schedule on the Hollywood Casino amphitheater schedule because we will, of course, be acquiring season passes for the lawn. They just announced Shania Twain on July 1st.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna go, but they're starting to announce. So let's get in the
Well,
ball.
yeah, it's time to announce. Yeah, see where they're
I,
at. So,
I I may have to check her out though. Got them country gals with the boots and the
well,
Daisy
we'll see
Dukes and
if anything comes
whatnot.
around it. If there's something that same weekend, maybe we'll have to skip Shania. But if there's nothing else going on, why not?
Oh, why not? Well, I plan for another fabulous summer next year, so we just got to get through this damn winter, Doc. So, thanks everybody for stopping by. Sure appreciate it. Be sure to do your thing and watch our videos or listen to us on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms and give us a like, give us a subscribe, tell your friends, neighbors, relatives, enemies, everybody, and we hope to, see you soon. So what do you say, Doc?
Absolutely. Great week. looking forward to next week and what items come up that we can talk about. And then in the meantime, yeah, please help us out and give us a boost if you can. And other than that, have a great rock and roll filled week, and we will see you next time.